started. So, welcome you all to NCTTA West Regionals. We're going to be starting the first set of co-ed team matches and Group 1 and Group 2 of women's singles, which I've already checked in those people. So, we're about to go ahead. Just a reminder, please make sure to throw away all your trash and please take care of all of the equipment here. We are thankful for OCTTA for having us host West Regionals here. So just FYI, thank you. Okay, tables 2 and 3, we have UCI versus UC Davis. Tables 4 and 5, we have University of Washington versus UC San Diego. Tables 6 and 7, we have USC versus Stanford. And tables 8 and 9, we have UCLA versus Colorado State. And then I'll get the women's singles going after that. So on those 8 tables, please clear them out right now, except tables 1 and 10.
Thanks. Yeah, I had some events this week, so and then I didn't have time to change before I left. Honestly, I was just so committed on because I'm gonna play all day. I know.
I gotta kick you guys off. Go in here. Actually.
Okay, sure.
Can you guys? Or it's fine.
Yeah, we'll move.
Yeah, this is table 1. UCI versus UC Davis. Let's get your first 2 singles matches started on 2 and 3. So, William Bai versus Stephen Goon. Hitoki Kirahashi versus Rohit.
Yeah.
You want William and Stephen on this here? Stephen. Stephen, you play him pretty good here.
No. Oh, that's my ball.
Whichever one. I'm just making sure it doesn't switch up. Alright. Is your ball too?
I'm like double checking everything, but everything looks good. I'm so confused. I wish I could go direct. Yeah, there's gonna be some delay. Can you move your paper right here? Thank you. I'm just gonna grab this real quick. I'm gonna try a different cable. Hey, do either of you guys have any analog headphones?
Nope. Darn. At home.
Yeah, same.
Where would we use those? Just coming out of here.
Plug into here.
And this again picks up the table sound. Yes. Okay. And that's just for levels, or should we have that in our ear the whole time?
No, it's for everything.
So table one, group one, Angela Vaughn, Jocelyn Liu, Megan Lee, and Claire Strickland. Table one.
Nope. One, two. So you made sure that it was on, right?
I'll check again, but.
And it was G3? The channel?
Group two, Jim Lee, Jessica Liu, Trinity Hall, and Ashley Miller.
Yeah. Oh, you guys are just trying to pick up the table sound. Do these get bigger or they don't? They don't. Mic check 1 2. Nothing's working.
Mung Lee from University of Washington, can we go to table one? Mung Lee from University of Washington, please come to table one.
Mic testing, mic testing.
You want to just plug these guys straight to the circuit? Because I'm getting power. Yeah. Go for it.
Mic testing, mic testing. 3. Hello, hello. Mic testing, mic testing. Mic testing. Mic testing. Mic testing, mic testing. Mic testing, mic testing.
Check, check. Is this coming through? Talk, talk, check. We are checking in with NCTTA. We have audio. live at the 2022 NCTTA Regionals. We are live streaming from Table 2 right now, where we have UCI versus UC Davis. Yeah, that's right. We're about a game and a half into this match, and both players are looking fairly confident overall.
Was able to see UC Davis did take game 1. We're currently in game 2. Hopefully get an update on the score here soon. Huge shout out to OCTTA for hosting this event. Thank you to Dr. Lee, the owner, for being generous to college table tennis, letting us play here. Players utilizing their towel break right now. The Davis player, we have Stephen Gong. UCI player, we have William Bai. Fun fact, both sophomores and both studying computer science. Very similar taste in education, I'd say.
Sensing a trend already here, Jace.
These players are the #1s for their respective teams. So these teams are bringing out the big boys. Game 1, Matt. Seeing both players trying to get pretty aggressive off the serve, going for an aggressive flick return.
Absolutely, it's an attacker's game here.
Table number 1,
for
we
a
do
moment.
have the first round of women's singles going on. For you viewers that are curious. Wow, great point there.
A really incredible point there. Counterattacks from both wings here. Davis missing low into the net.
And that is both players' style. They are two-wing attackers. So you're going to see them loop from the forehand and the backhand side. Really entertaining when two players like this line up.
Absolutely. It's always such a treat to see these long extended rallies with both attackers. Most points you see are close to the table, but when they really open up, it's quite a treat.
Wow. Great return by Stephen Gong.
To win the game.
With an aggressive loop down the line. Stephen able to reach out and get it. I believe it is now 2-0 for Stephen Gong. We'll try to get confirmation on that. But Davis off to a great start here. Huge shout out to the NCTTA staff for making this possible. Take him, hooking up the live stream, the audio. We also have the regional director, James Wang, for really putting this whole event together.
Absolutely. They're expected to prepare this venue on such short notice. We were here last night late, and now it's all set up the morning of the tournament. So it's really a fast-moving group of people, and I'm honored to be commentating and working along with this staff. Start of game 3.
Yeah, interesting here. William Bai down 0-2, kind of back against the wall early. I would not underestimate him, though. Very strong player.
Absolutely. And again, these matches are best 3 out of 5.
Setting the tone early, William. Being very aggressive with third ball attack.
Two for 2. That's 2 third ball attacks. That push just off the table is enough for him to capitalize.
That's the tough thing with serve return is you kind of have to go one of two directions. You could drop it short, try to mitigate your opponent's attack. Perhaps you can go aggressive and try and attack the serve itself. Always a cat and mouse game, really a chess match out there with serve and serve receive.
Absolutely. Ooh, a lucky net dribble for William.
Seeing some common etiquette there in table tennis when you do hit a net or an edge. Typically you see the beneficiary with the quick apology.
Certainly, it is a very respectful sport. You apologize for shots that were out of your control, but you may have earned. I'm sure he's not too upset about that point, though.
William Bai really coming out guns blazing this third set. This UC Davis versus UCIT match is also taking place on table 3, so just to the right of the stream. But table 2 is both teams' #1 players. Now for those of you new to college table tennis, we are watching the team format right now. So each team will send out 4 players, and they will play 4 singles matches. And just like the individual games that the players are playing, the team event is also 3 out of 5. So hypothetically speaking, if UCI were to win 3 singles matches, they would take the win.
Fantastic. And Jace, what happens when there's a tie-up, a 2-2 in the team play?
That's when it gets pretty exciting. So then we go to a doubles tiebreaker, and that's what we're hoping to see a little bit today. And I bet we will. A lot of these teams are pretty evenly matched.
Absolutely. We selfishly here want to see a rubber match, so to speak, where it can bounce either way with the doubles. Just more entertaining for the viewers, more playing time for the players here in the club as well.
Strong attack there from Steven. See William Bai's return sitting up a little bit too high. The level these players are at, they're going to really put that ball away.
They're already playing at such a high level, but the first match of the day, I cannot wait to see where the matches go later in the day.
It's nice, you can see in the stream, we do have the UC Davis coach, Danny Yip. Kind of made a name for himself in the college world. Always used to be a player, actually, back in the day when he was at UC Davis, and now taking over coaching duties. Very supportive. Always loved that about college table tennis. It really is a team atmosphere.
Absolutely. You may be able to hear the cheers in the background, the applause for points won. That's a great affirmation for the players. William just touching the net and the ball sails long. Unlucky.
Bit of an extended rally there, but definitely both players a little more hesitant. Game 3, going a little more tactical play, really trying to hit their loop spots. William Bai does bounce back, now down 1-2 in games. So getting a little bit of a match on our hands here.
Absolutely. You do see a different tactic here in this game, like you mentioned, Jace, where they're attacking, but they're safer attacks. And you can see it clearly is working out in Williams' favor. Him taking the third game and all.
Both players back to the table pretty quickly. Sometimes you'll see players taking all the time they can get as much coaching feedback. But both these guys have a pretty good idea of what they need to do. Steven Gong to serve. Start of game 4. Backhand goes long, ticks off the top of the net. Ooh, aggressive shot by William, just missing. I like what he's going for there. He's using his strength. He's getting into that forehand loop. Good flick by Steven. Really puts a lot of pressure on the server, and the receiver can give an aggressive topspin return.
Seeing a lot of short underspin serves, but Steven's still able to capitalize. on just a little bit of height maybe, or less spin, something that can allow him to attack. Worked out for him there.
Good attack by William, right into the body. Typically a good place to attack playing table tennis. When we say at the body, it's kind of a transition point between forehand and backhand. Sometimes it can be hard for a player to kind of make a decision to try to hit that with the backhand with the forehand. Historically a weak point for most players. Strong forehand flick there.
Great
right
point.
to the backhand side of William. Aggressive play by Steven. As you can tell, Steven is a lefty. Sometimes that is kind of interesting for players. Majority of people that play are right-handed, so lefties kind of have an advantage. Not inherently because they're left-handed, but really just because people don't see it. They don't see the spin coming in that certain left-handed way. It's funny talking to some left-handed players, even they don't like to play left-handed players because they're so used to training against righties. So perhaps a small advantage there for UC Davis throwing out a lefty.
And if you think about just the sheer number of hours you're playing against, say, a right-handed player, as a right-handed player, to have even a slight change as a different wing could completely change the dynamic of the whole match.
That was an amazing return there. William by dropping it low over the net, actually clipping the top of the net and coming back to his side. Really unreturnable right there.
Let's serve. Steven serves once again.
I like to see the Davis team really getting behind every point. See them cheering, clapping.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, good point.
Chance
Steven
to open
Gong
up
wins
here.
out there with some good placement.
Absolutely.
Do get a towel break every 6 points. You may see players utilizing that. Quick little break, wipe off, reset. Good blocks by William, very well placed. Ended up sending that block to Steven's backhand. Steven wasn't quite able to hang. Really good tactical placement by William
See
there.
William keeping it over on that left side of the table, keeping it away from his forehand as much as possible.
Wow, great point. Both players getting back and counter looping. Taking a little bit more time between serves now, gathering your thoughts, really getting your strategy dialed in. Basically a counter loop with the backhand there right off the
Wildly
bounce.
shot there by Steven. R to the forehand corner. Just
Very wide too, even Williams' quick footwork, and he's very quick. Wasn't able to get to that. Let serve, just clipping the top of the net. Players do get unlimited lets, so to speak. If they serve, it's top of the net. It still hits their opponent's side, they keep serving. There's no limit on that. great block by William. Such a strong attack by Steven too, but William was able to hit it back just about as fast with that close to the table block.
That's true. The power of the block is really in the attacker's speed and spin. The block just redirects. And a well-placed block can end the point.
The Davis team getting a little more vocal, getting to the business end of the match here, hyping up their teammate.
Taking a little bit of extra time here.
Both players really slowing it down. A little bit of gamesmanship. A similar strategy there, that backhand counter, very wide to Williams' forehand.
Yeah, and Steven taking those loops just right off the bounce in more of a punch block format, redirecting.
Similar strategy there, but sails just long. William putting so much topspin on that loop. Hard for any player to control that, let alone direct it, place it right where you want.
Certainly, Jace, the more topspin that is played, the more closed your bat has to be, therefore having a finer tolerance for mistakes.
Oh, and Williams keeping that push nice and short. Steven not having enough room to really get into that forehand loop. Yeah, I'm so impressed with both these players. Obviously, their speed, their strength, off the charts. They really rocket the ball. But their touch game is so good too. It really is the whole package. Wow. Again, the backhand wide to the forehand. Great point, and Steven's teammates letting him know it was a great point. Love to see that. Loop hitting the top of the net and sailing long.
Just the slightest variation in spin here can change the trajectory of the ball. We may have seen that just there.
Really seeing some good points here. All the players kind of figuring out each other's style, each other's spin, getting a little more comfortable with the rally.
Absolutely, seen some fist pumps from Steven, the UC Davis player.
Always nice to see some emotion. Wow, look at the touch and spin. You could see it from here where we're commentating. That push by William didn't even clear the back end of the table. It looked like it did, almost like a half-long push. And then the side spin kicked it out. Wow. Again, great touch play. Wow, fast long serve. That may have been the first one we've seen.
Really
Clutch serve by William.
You really don't see too many of those. They may be used more just in a clutch point. Seems to have worked for him in this case.
At the high level of table tennis, you don't see players serving long too often. If that ball sails off their opponent's end, their opponent does have some room to swing back and loop, so a lot of players will keep the serve short, forcing their opponent to step in and either push or flick. But a well-timed long serve can really catch the opponent off guard, and William used that to his advantage to take game 4, force a game 5.
It's becoming an exciting match, Jace.
Right off the bat. First match of the day, and we're already going to 5th game. I would expect to see the UC Davis bench getting pretty loud this 5th game.
William to serve. Love all. Strong
Good
attack.
point right off the bat. Steven able to get that backhand flick in, but William was ready for it with a quick re-loop.
Yeah, I would venture to say that William by now is getting used to an attack right off the serve. Steven has been relentless on his second ball attacks this match.
Another well-placed push by William. Steven not able to loop it. Certainly gave it a good try. He's going to have to be aggressive to take this game.
Oh, wow.
Great.
That is some exciting
volley.
table tennis.
Forehand to forehand. William by count comes out on top, but that was a treat.
What a treat that is. Attack opportunity once again. This one going a little long.
Even though the serves might look similar, they could actually have so much variation. You might have one serve that's really juiced with backspin. The next serve might be identical looking, but it might have barely any spin at all, a no spin serve.
That's a great
That's
point.
what's so tricky with this higher level of play. The fifth game, you will see players changing sides. That occurs when one player reaches 5. First player to reach 5 points will initiate that side change, just to ensure everything's fair with the lighting, maybe making eye contact with your coach, really any dimension in there. Changing sides ensures that everything works out fair. Great backhand flip there.
Quality attack. We've seen
He's
a
going to need
lot.
some more points like that to crawl back. William definitely has been cruising this fifth game. NorCal versus SoCal right off the bat.
Wow.
Another good point. William just a little more patient, a little more placement. Very good with his block location.
It's really great to see how these players play against each other tactic-wise. Both of them are fantastic attackers, blockers, so any attack that's forced is going to be returned. Case in point, we're seeing some fantastic attacks, but really good control here from these players, on the backhand side specifically.
That was kind of the point. We hadn't seen a quick backhand to backhand exchange. Both players hitting straight as opposed to cross court.
Nice serve from Steven there. Certainly at the business end of this match by now.
Bit of a lucky serve return, clipping the net. That messes with the timing just enough for William to miss hit.
Wow, William really playing those corners there. First, a long one to the forehand, and then 2 strong attacks to the backhand side.
William getting to showcase his power right there. That's got to feel good when a ball sits up high and really get to put it away. Haven't seen a lot of those. It's been a lot of low spinny rockets going back and forth so far.
A little bit of an unexpected change in direction for Steven, maybe. Earns William the point.
Fast, aggressive backhand by Steven. This time down the line, going straight. You can almost see Williams starting to cheat. Like his backhand is going to go out wide to Williams' forehand, which we've seen, but clever placement by Steven. Oh, and clipping the edge there. Again, seeing that apology.
Apology from Steven, but he'll take it.
No, I'm sure he'll take it.
Inside out
pendulum serve, and that takes it. William Bai wins the match 3-2. Makes for a hot start for UCI. Really good to get that first match.
Certainly, we're already seeing such a high level of table tennis. Again, the top seed, if I'm not mistaken, in each team.
That is correct. That was both teams #1, which teams don't have to necessarily do. You know, it's kind of interesting that people might think, okay, you're sending out 4 players. We're going to line them up in order of skill, right? First, second, third, fourth. But with college table tennis, there's some tactics involved. You know, perhaps you maybe put a weaker player in the #1 spot if another team has a really strong #1 that's guaranteed to win anyway. There can be some gamesmanship, some tactics, and how teams actually set their lineup. One thing, though, is that if it does go to the doubles tiebreaker, that player in the #1 slot must participate in that doubles.
That's interesting. And do the other teams know the lineup that's going to be chosen by the other team? Or is it a toss-up?
You do not. Players can certainly guess. Might be some inside trader going around. But for the most part, it is a surprise. You show up to the table, see who you're playing, and that's it. Now, throughout the day, you can kind of see the order. You know, if you look around right now, you can kind of gather, okay, these are the #1s playing each other. You could perhaps tweak your lineup a little bit. But once you set your order, you do have to stick with that. You can't change that throughout the tournament.
That's a good point. Now, the assumption, of course, is if they're stacking their lineups in a similar fashion, there's going to be some pretty close games because the levels are more similar versus maybe a more loaded deck.
And that's what we saw with that last match. Both teams #1s, both players very comparable, and the match really playing out that way, going to the 5th game.
And they're setting the stage now for the second match of the day. They're going to have a quick warm-up and then begin the match.
if you're just joining us, we are live at the 2022 NCTTA West Regionals. Currently right in the middle of a pretty exciting teams match. We have UC Davis versus UCI. We are currently beginning the third and fourth matches right now. The UC Davis side getting ready to serve. We have Liu Jian. He's a freshman at UC Davis. And on the UCI side, we have Jansen Chan. As both players going for the attacks. Trying to get those topspin loops in early, win the point outright. Wow. Good attack by the UCI player, Jansen. Both players wearing some pretty sick shoes. Butterfly, I like the colors, I like the expression.
Good style points for both. Let's see if it increases their gameplay. Sure it does.
Oh, it does.
This flooring, of course.
You got some purple on your
Semi-grippy.
feet. You're gonna send some forehand rockets for sure.
A missed serve always a bit frustrating for the server. Easy points for
Early in the
the opponent.
match, this is both players' first matches of the day. Always kind of hard personally to play in the morning. Still waking up a bit, getting the nerves out.
Tricky serve by the UCI player. Forced to pop up, and he capitalized.
That was a tricky serve. He definitely reaped the benefits of it, didn't he?
A lucky net touch may have allowed an attack.
Good
by
rally.
UC Davis.
Nee was able to get that forehand loop in there. He's a couple of points now. He's got a solid forehand, and he definitely moves around and looks to utilize it when he can.
And looking like a very spinny underspin serve. UC Irvine ball just sailing a little long. But as you can see, attacks pretty early on in the points.
Oh, tricky fast serve right there, long to the backhand side. Seeing some pretty impressive serve variation from the UCI player, Jansen. A quick shout out to NCTTA for hosting this event. Very thankful for them, Orange County Table Tennis Association here in SoCal. You know, speaking of location, you wonder if that plays a role in these matches, right? I mean, quite literally, we're in UCI's backyard here in Orange County, whereas some of these schools from Northern California, University of Washington, Colorado, travel a little bit farther. You know, the UC Davis team arrived late last night, sleeping in a foreign bed, long road trip. I always wonder if that plays an effect in the matches the next day. So perhaps slight home field advantage to UCI.
That could play into a physical standpoint, a mental standpoint, possibly even emotional.
Good footwork there by UCI, stepping around his backhand side to get his forehand in. He does take game one. We had the pleasure of commentating both schools' #1 players in the first match, and UCI did come out on top there as well. Just to remind the viewers, this is a team setting, so both schools will send out 4 players, and it's a best-of-5 match for that team. So if there's a school that gets to 3 wins, they win, they move on. So we are in the business end of this team event right now with the 3rd and 4th matches taking place. This could really make or break it.
Right now we're seeing
players
the
going to their coaches in between sets.
Davis squad standing, supporting their team.
UCI will get the serve to start game 2. And that's an advantage, as we've seen Jansen has some tricky serves. Case in point right there, long hook serve. That reminds me of Mima Ito a little bit.
That's an interesting comparison. Long deep serve to the backhand, not an easy return. Another tricky serve yielding a long flyer, 0-2.
You can see whenever an errant ball goes in the court, players taking a quick let, get the ball back in the rightful player's hands and carry on.
Wow, very low attack from the UCI player down the forehand line.
Again, stepping around his backhand side to get his forehand in.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, tricky serve from UC Davis Niu as well. Hey, taste of your own medicine.
That's
give
right.
me a long topspin, I'll give you a long topspin.
And you'll
You know,
see
I
this
like
a
that
lot.
strategy by Niu there. He knew that was a long topspin serve. He didn't kind of push it and have a passing attack. He went for it there.
That's
No,
right.
he didn't quite make it. I like to see that approach.
Any long serve is a chance to attack. Little backhand exchange.
You can see both players really solid on the forehand side. Their backhands are no slouches either. Definitely their forehand is where they're hitting their winners. A little more passive on their backhand side. That's typical. But man, both players' forehands so far have been pretty impressive.
Wow.
Got a feel for
Jansen.
Niu there. He stepped around, he got that attack and off the long serve. But Jansen was ready.
Essence
Blocked
of
it
Waldner,
right
maybe?
back.
Redirecting that block where he wasn't.
Another good block again. Good reactions from Jansen in game 2.
Once again, an attack off the serve from Jansen, forcing an error. We're really not seeing too many pushes or backspin in these points. Just enough to open up an attack.
Both players freshmen, so they will have a couple more years of NCTTA eligibility. They may face each other again, especially being in the same region. Growing up, Niu played out of the World Champion Table Tennis Academy in the Bay Area. It's produced many good players. I believe Kanak Ja, the U.S. #1, trained there.
Once again, fantastic placement by the UC Irvine player.
Good exchange. Both players really clawing it out for game 2 here. This has been really close. As the match goes on, players get a little more used to each other's serves. You might not see quite as many outright serve winners, but we do see one right there when UCI takes game 2 again. Now up 2-0 in this match. UC Davis with their back against the wall here. Niu getting guided by Coach Danny Yip right now on the UC Davis side. We'll give him some tactics. A little bit of emotional support if needed. Give him some ideas on hey, maybe what serve to do, what was working, what wasn't working.
An extra set of eyes Maybe when you're in a match, you're a little bit emotionally invested, well, clearly emotionally invested, but it may cloud some judgment occasionally. So it's always nice to have a coach, someone who's got your back and watching for potential changes of tactics to maybe swing the match.
Well, that's right. You definitely get tunnel vision when you're playing. Really nice to have that second set of eyes kind of steering, guiding the ship. Cracker of a match on table one with the women's singles group. Both players really going at it. Well, some other schools that are here today, Matt. University of Washington up in the Pacific Northwest. UC San Diego, we have Stanford. Saw USC earlier warming up, UCLA, UC Berkeley. A lot of great schools today. I believe a school from Colorado as well. That's awesome, Colorado making the trip out here.
It's fantastic. Seems like today it's a California-dominated school appearance, but it's nice to see Washington and Colorado making an appearance as well.
Some kind of similar tactics from Jansen. That long kind of kicker topspin serve has been working. I've been sticking with it. Games 2-11, alternate every 2 serves. Lou going for the big backhand loop. Perhaps a miss-hit there. He knows he's got to be aggressive to claw his way back into this match, though, so you may see a more freestyle play. He's got to go for it. There's nothing to lose. Down 0-2, backs against the wall. Got to go for those attacks.
Tricky serve from UC Irvine. Seems to be a resounding trend here in this match, ending the point quickly. We've seen a lot of strong attacks off of serves, maybe a third ball attack.
Just missing there by Miyu. See, we wanted to go for that down the line backhand. He is right there. This really is a game of millimeters. And that ball was so close to being amazing, being an edge shot. Slightest variation in spin, take a little bit of speed off, put a little extra speed on, be the difference maker.
Sure. Even the location of the ball on the paddle will influence spin. Sweet spot versus an edge. A little bit of a pop-up here.
UCI unable to capitalize there. But great tactics. Ball sits up that high, you gotta go for your loop.
Nice side, possibly side top serve, going long to the side. A predictable return.
Strong loop by UCI there, hitting into Miyu's backhand.
That attacks to the body, very difficult to return. A bit of a weak spot there between forehand and backhand. Got to make a quick split-second decision.
Long fast serves again. UCI has been giving Davis a steady diet of those this match.
Yeah, those off-speed serves can sometimes be an advantage if the opponent is not expecting it.
So Jansen with UCI is a SoCal boy. Played at California table tennis up in the LA area. But also, like, you know, he's got some pretty handsome hair. Jansen got him with the tricky serve, was able to force a weak return by Niu. Unable to capitalize.
Stanford captain, please come to the front desk. Stanford captain, please come to the front desk.
Although UCI is up 2-0, it's been a close match, really neck and neck. Both players very comparably skilled. Always love to see that.
Makes for a real fun match when the players are close in skill and when their styles complement each other, Jason. We saw in the first match of the day, the players' styles were both double wing loopers, made for some very exciting points.
Spinny loop by Niu. Jansen unable to keep that block low. A lot of topspin making that ball want to kick high.
Another fast serve from UC Irvine. I'm frankly surprised at the number of fast serves that UC Irvine is putting out there.
There's that old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's definitely been going to that. Heavy backspin push. Backspin really forces the ball low. You have to lift a lot to get that ball over the net. And that will do it. Jansen does take the match 3-0.
Overall, in this match, really impressed by the variation in serves, the deception in serves. It seems to have been certainly a winning piece for Jansen. Was his variation in spin, speed on the serves that can open up an opportunity for an attack or close it down entirely with a miss hit. Seen some high fives there on the bench for UC Irvine.
UC Irvine taking the score sheet back. I think it's safe to say they did take that team match. UC Davis does fall to UCI, although very exciting all the way around. We had the pleasure of kind of watching from the side the games that were taking place on table 3, also close as well. It seemed like each school kind of did a straight up lineup, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's our order. And they all played pretty close, pretty comparable to each other. Perhaps UCI just having a little bit of more skill level with each lineup.
Sure. And Jace, what happens to the player that does not advance from the first round?
So we're in the team group, and it is a round robin right now. So UC Davis shouldn't lose faith yet. They could still come back, win the rest of the matches in the round robin. Just because you lose one in this stage doesn't mean you're out. It's not single elimination right now. Now this is regionals. It is considered the postseason. So teams had to get through the divisional stage to get here. But the big prize is nationals. And that's what these schools are playing for today, and singles players as well. We do have women's singles and men's singles going on at this tournament. So a good showing here will book your ticket to nationals. That's what the players want. But again, don't lose faith even if you're Davis and lose the first match. I believe it's the top 3 schools that book their ticket directly to nationals. But there's also some wild cards as well. Some school for some reason can't make it. You dip into that wild card pool. So never give up. Every match, every point, very important.
Absolutely, that's a
Please get your first match started on table.
great example of don't ever give up hope. There can always be a chance to come back. The writing is not on the wall. Not in this sport.
USC team captain, please come to the front desk. USC team captain.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll stop it for now. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Sorry. Miscommunication.
Ugh.
Yeah, start posting now.
We're gonna be on TV. Alright, cool. Oh, LOL, what am I doing? I'm not trying. Let me put this on.
All right.
Shout out to Angie with one. She's right there. I have eyes. I happily commented. It's okay. I can take the L. Take that L.
USC versus UCLA on tables 8 and 9. Please go to tables 8 and 9. USC versus UCLA.
Let's just have fun. What? Just have fun, man.
Okay.
Sorry, Angela. Thank you. That works good. Come on, miss.
Second?
Yeah, sure.
What? That's you.
Team Captain, please come to the front.
Weird, right?
Washington Team Captain, please come to the front. Washington Team Captain, please come to the front.
Can I block for you? I'll block for you. Right here. Got it? Yeah.
Washington Team Captain, please come to the front.
Ready?
Yep. Let's play.
That side.
That's a 5.
Stop. When you serve, there's
Oh,
two
welcome.
rules. Do you know them?
If you're just joining us for the first time, or if you're rejoining us, we're at the 2022 NCTTA West Regionals here in Orange County. Shout out to Dr. Lee, who is the owner of this facility, Orange County Table and Association. Very generous of him to let us use our facilities today.
UCSD Team Captain, please come to the front.
An exciting match on table 2 for you. Eric
As well as UC
Pattinson
Davis Team Captain, please come to
out of Stanford in the red. And we have Aaron Ty out of Colorado State University. Aaron Ty actually won the Rocky Mountain Division for men's singles. So already impressive pedigree there. Treat of a first point right there. One thing you may notice about Eric, he is using long pips on the green side. There's a lot to process with everything I just said right there. Green side, not red and black. There is a new rule where you can use, has to be one side black, but you can use a different color. I believe they have pink, green, blue. I think I've seen yellow. So pretty cool. Eric having some flair there, using the green. Actually let us check out his racket setup before the match. The green long pips and some very spinny black rubber.
We're seeing already a blocking style here from Eric. Can be tricky to return with the pips because it doesn't reverse the spin. It sort of just continues the spin dealt.
And that's a good point, Matt. The pips are a totally different game than smooth rubber. You're probably going to see around 90% of the players, maybe even more, use smooth rubber. It's a very traditional style play. The spin's going to reverse. You give someone topspin, they're going to come back with topspin. But long pips actually goes with the spin. It kind of floats up a little bit more. Someone gives you a topspin ball, you hit that flat long pips, actually going to be kind of dead or even backspin. So different pace, different tempo.
Sure, a lot of players that use the long pips are choppers. In this case, he's a close to the table blocker and attacker.
Wow, good rally there. A lot of blocks.
Just missing short in the net. We're seeing a high toss serve here.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Actually, from both players, they toss the ball relatively high on their serve.
Now, what does that do to the ball, or is that a technique?
Yeah,
What
so
are we looking
you
at?
do have to toss the ball up vertically at least 6 inches. That is a rule. You can't hit it directly out of your hand. You'll see players just like Aaron Ty did right there, toss the ball pretty high. That ball's coming down with a little bit more speed, a little bit more energy. So when it actually digs into your rubber, you can get more spin. Downside is a little bit harder to control in place with the high toss serve. Always cool when a player has that high toss serve in their repertoire.
Absolutely. Thinking to some of the professional players of old, Michael Mays, Vladimir Samsonov. infamous for their tricky serves.
Yeah. Seen a lot of good points this match. Both players being very patient, extending the rallies out. A little bit different than when we saw UC Davis and UCI going at it. This is making for some nice rallies.
Serve is just long.
Frustrating for Eric there.
Wow, spinny attack from Eric.
Spinny forehand.
You may have seen in
Aaron
that.
going back and forth between topspin and backspin, and that's because he's playing against that pip style. That pip's is sending one ball topspin, one ball backspin. You're seeing Aaron be very patient with that.
He's certainly playing smart. He's not jumping to too many conclusions too fast. He's playing the long game here.
He is. Wow, tricky serve, almost reverse tomahawk-esque. Won Eric the point outright. See Eric twiddling there, hitting one shot with the smooth black side, one shot with the long pips green. Point.
Oh, good.
And there's the first game going to Aaron of Colorado State. Now what I'm seeing here in Eric's game is a bit of a C. Miller style of play with the racket, being able to use the smooth side on both forehand, backhand, and he of course twiddles as well, so that gives him an extra advantage.
Eric is a tricky player, and he's really fun to watch. Very smooth, very controlled. He refers to his grip as the Ryan grip.
There it is.
4 and 5.
I
Eric's
stand
home
corrected.
club is Pacific Northwest. He grew up playing at the Green Lake Table Tennis Club in Seattle, Washington. And actually, another player on the Stanford team, Lucy Ma, also from Pacific Northwest as well. So, seeing some Washington State natives on the Stanford team. Eric Pattison is a first-year PhD in chemical engineering.
Ooh.
And
There you have it.
also at Stanford, if you haven't figured that part out yet. So, pretty gifted guy. But he is behind in games and down 0-1 in the second set right now. Boy, Aaron has been very smooth, been able to handle that pips, really no issue. Maybe opening up a little bit there, showing us his power.
Yeah.
Just misses long. Boy, shout out to Colorado State for making the trip out here. That's something that's a long trip, a lot of logistics go into that. Find a place to stay, figure out how to get the whole team out here, funding for that. Shout out to them for making the trip out there. That's awesome to see.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about how travel may affect energy levels, focus levels when you're playing in a new place, sleeping in a new bed. This could all come into play here today.
Wow, good point. Eric twiddling, flipping the racket.
1-4.
Yep. I've seen Eric move Aaron around a little bit, trying to get him uncomfortable.
Oh. Almost a banana flip there with the backhand by Eric. Very side spinning. Tomahawk serve.
Nice. Thank you.
Good placement by Aaron.
5-2.
And both players are very confident, very smooth. This has really been fun to watch. Playing their own game.
Oh, good.
Oh, lucky net dribble for Aaron.
And he noted it with a quick apology.
Oh, good.
And another net. You tend to see that when you're playing against long pips. Nets are a little more prone to happen. Aaron definitely the beneficiary of some nets in the second set. That's that reverse
Yet
tomahawk
another tricky serve.
Very tricky.
Strong point in Eric's game. Seeing a little bit of play here. Getting creative.
Women's singles groups 3 and 4. If you can come to me to check in.
Wow, such good spin variation by Eric.
Spin and
Aaron's handling
speed.
great. I would be struggling out there. That's a lot of spin variation. My mind would be going crazy.
I have a lot of
Long
respect
pips,
for
close to the table, twiddler.
Aaron, very patient player, something I am not. It is a joy to watch. I'm taking notes.
And for both schools, these players are in the #1 slot. So this is each school's #1 slotted player playing the other school's #1 slotted player. Does not necessarily mean that they are, technically the best player on each team by skill level. Now they very well may be, but in college table tennis you can kind of stack the deck a bit. You don't have to put your best player in the #1 spot.
Ooh, high toss serve, just short into the net. Frustrating for the Stanford player. You can see him shaking his head.
Yeah, you never want to give points away like that. Obviously a player like Eric generates a lot of spin, so he goes for those really spinny serves. Aaron with a great loop right there, really showcasing his power.
We're seeing a bit more spin from Aaron now. He's able to drop the ball down lower onto the table now. Missing less long.
Good point.
Nice rally there.
Point indeed. That had a bit of everything.
Sure did.
Some loops from both players. Ooh. Eric went for kind of that backhand side loop. Now down 2-0.
Women's singles
Colorado
group
State
3.
definitely in the driver's seat right now. They need one more game to take this first match, which goes in their collective team score. 4 players for each team, so you need to win the majority of matches, whether that's 4-0, 3-1. If it's 2-2, it does go to a doubles tiebreaker, which I'm selfishly hoping for. I would love to see these players play again. They actually would be in the doubles as well because they are in that #1 slot for their team. They do have to participate in the doubles. So like I said earlier, if the lineup doesn't necessarily have to do linearly with your skill level, but whoever's in that #1 slot does have to participate in the tiebreaker doubles.
That is an interesting rule. Perhaps some players play better doubles than others. They're just a synergy as a team.
Yeah.
And maybe wanting to stack the deck in that way. Anticipating a potential
You could have 2
match.
very overpowering players, but they might not click well for doubles, so it might make more sense to even go with perhaps a weaker player in the singles world, but maybe he's a better doubles player. Hopefully we get to see that.
Sure. Cutting in here, Aaron Tai with a fantastic forehand down the forehand side.
Boy, when he unloads and
Untouchable.
really lets one rip, it's a little different. It really has some pace behind it.
Oh, nice placement.
Eric describes his style of play as a dual wing looper / long pips pick hitter. And I think that pick hitter term is pretty correct. You think of long pips and you think of, kind of slower, the no spin reversal. But he's able to take some shots pretty quick off the table and really put some pepper behind him.
That's very true. That black side being the smooth, you'll see him twiddle on that often when attacking. With the green side, of course, long pips. Keeping that ball low,
good.
Interesting
Good
tact
direction
there.
change with Aaron. 2 loops to the backhand, 3rd loop to the forehand. And his loops are fast and speedy enough. It's hard to block multiple in a row, let alone when he changes directions.
Missed opportunity there. Bit of a misread on the spin.
Nice play.
See Eric even acknowledging when Aaron gets a good shot. Good sportsmanship in this match.
We always love to see that. It's a very competitive sport. It's a very emotional sport.
Slow it down here.
But it's also a very courteous sport.
We've already seen a couple nets. Players acknowledge that when they hit the net. Bit of a lucky break.
I'm sorry.
Speak of the devil.
Case in point. Case in point. A lucky point for Eric here. Wow, fantastic attack right off the bounce for Eric.
Point.
That's
That
a
really did
tough
have
shot.
a bit of everything. Close to the table, pips blocking, some loops.
Pleasure to watch. Now, I mentioned earlier nets as being lucky shots, but there may be less luck than we may think. These players keep the ball so low.
Exactly.
So low to the net.
When you're trained to keep the ball low, you're going to get some of those nets.
I seem to recall a video of the Chinese team training, and they held a blade just over the diameter of the ball over when working on serves.
Now to keep the serve low.
To keep the serve low, absolutely. Any high serve has the potential to be attacked, even low serves in this day and age. Any chance to attack.
And Aaron went with the kind of the fast dead serve there to get directly into the rally. Get his forehand into play. Another good point. Actually was a net, but Aaron was able to handle it. And that's just good reactions. Wow. Oh, great block. Wow.
The
good
reaction.
point again. Eric was working him. Wasn't necessarily the one blasting balls like Aaron was, but trust me, Eric was in control of that point.
Well said.
Trinity, some please come to the front desk. Trinity,
Here you see Eric changing the pacing. He certainly is the one in charge of the pacing. Aaron reacting to the pips.
Trinity, some.
Going for a big loop, just misses in the net.
Sorry. Didn't hit? No, I think so. Oh, I believe you.
And that will do it. Aaron Tai takes the match, 3-0. Great match to watch.
Great start for
Such different
Colorado.
styles of play.
We're seeing Eric pat Aaron's back. Some great camaraderie. High five in the opponent's
Opposing
team.
That's awesome.
That's what we love to see.
So we know for sure that Colorado State is up at least 1-0. We're able to see what's going table 3, but could be 2-0, could be 1-1. Either way, they did get a win with their number 1, Aaron. That's what you want to see from your number 1 slotted player. If you do, put your strong player in there, that's the big gun. You want to see him take out the other
gun.
team's number 1. Really good for confidence moving forward. Well, a good showing here at the 2022 NCTTA West Regionals will book these players to the national competition, which will be in Texas later this year. And that's what the players are playing for today.
Top 3 teams that win. Can you explain that process?
Yeah,
The top 3 teams, is it?
The co-ed teams and the women's teams that come in first, second, and third today book their ticket directly to the nationals. But there's always some wildcard teams as well. So some schools may drop out of the nationals and then you kind of dip into that wild card pool. So it's important to try and have the best showing you can, even if you're one of those schools that doesn't get first, second, and third. You really want to fight for every point, give your school the best chance to potentially move on to nationals. Of course, first, second, and third makes it easy. You book your trip, it's set in stone.
Yep.
It's been a great venue today at OCTTA Club. Some of the NCTTA staff were here late last night getting the tables set up.
This club normally busy from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. most days of the week, and let me tell you, this place is packed.
Yeah, this club's a fun one. It's actually both of our home clubs that we play at every week, and it's different to see this place set up for a college tournament rather than typical club play. That's pretty cool.
Yep. Typically, the tables are actually the at a 90-degree turn, 3 across, 5 rows of 3, with coaching in the back. Competitive area. Lots of fantastic players locally. We even saw a few of the collegiate players dropping in on club play yesterday. Maybe get a home court advantage, get used to the space, cram in a last-minute lesson.
As you can see, both players warming up for the second match on table 2 here, Stanford versus Colorado State. Players will typically hit cross-court forehand for a minute or two and then switch to backhand side. Get their warm-ups in before they go to war. On table 2, we have Lucy Ma out of Stanford. We have Calvin Tai, Colorado State. Lucy is a second-year med student out of Stanford. That's the cool thing about college table tennis. It's not necessarily all undergrad here. There are some PhD students, master's students, med school student. We saw Eric playing Stanford in the first match. He was a PhD program. Now Lucy being a med student herself. Stanford, not quite as far to travel to get down to Orange County, but as Colorado State, I should clarify. But that's still a trek. NorCal to SoCal, it's a long state, that's a long drive. Assuming they drove down and didn't fly. Either way, that is a haul. Unlike the previous Stanford match we saw where Eric had long pips and smooth rubber, appears both players in this match do have smooth rubber on both sides. That's a more traditional style of play.
Yep. Judging by the warm-up style, we should be seeing an attacking style of play from these two. That is the name of the game.
Group 4, Lucy, Arushi, Olivia, and Chloe Sonar are going to be starting on table 1.
Players will hide the ball under the table to determine who serves first. Colorado State does win that. and elects to serve. 0-0.
Starting out hot here for Calvin. Tricky serves. He's jumping around. He's ready.
Yeah, his body language, he's amped. I'll square at 1-1 after the first serve exchange. Players will alternate serve every 2 points. Games to 11. It is a match, best 3 out of 5. First player to win 3 games to 11 rather, will take the match. Point by Lucy there, keeping the loops up, attacking the backhand of her opponent.
And then Calvin returns the favor.
Exchange. Calvin seems to be going with those long kind of kicker serves to Lucy's backhand. Kind of a hook serve. You're seeing that more popular these days. Easy to disguise the spin. Wow,
Then
strong forehand by Calvin.
Great tactic there of keeping the serve short then to the forehand. Forcing the opponent to move in, therefore opening up a long shot.
Right back
Kill.
to the forehand.
Back to the forehand.
A lot of in and out required, quick footwork.
Of course, it is easier to move in than move out. So it's a great technique to start in and then force the attack out.
Good serve by Lucy. Drifted a bit long. Calvin went to attack it, but the serve was juiced with spin. Kind of negated Calvin's attack there.
And again, Angela, can you come to the front desk? Angela, come to the front desk.
Calvin missing the serve. Hate to see that unforced error. You're going for that long kicker serve, juiced with spin. That is kind of a risk you take.
Certainly is. We never like to give away free points. Certainly when the game is just to 11. Not a lot of opportunities.
Another loaded return from Lucy, really keeping it spinny. Calvin's really going to have to lift those balls if he wants to get those loops on.
Wow.
Which he
Strong
did at that
attack.
point, but Lucy was ready. Very good block right back to his backhand side. Good placement.
Olivia and Arushi, please go to table 1. Olivia and Arushi, please come to table 1.
Strong spin from Lucy on that serve. Forced to push into the net. Wow.
Strong exchange. Calvin really putting some fire behind those loops. Blocking one, okay. Difficult in and of itself. Blocking 2 or 3 in a row, that's tough. Yikes, another missed serve from Calvin.
It is a mental game. A missed serve may get into your head. 2, well, that's tough. Let's see if he can turn it around. Wow.
Wow.
And he does. Strong attack.
That may have been the
Cross
strongest
court.
forehand we've seen so far. body weight moving forward into the table. He's translated that all to forehand power. Good placement by Lucy on that serve return. Resulting in an error from Calvin. This first game very tight. If it's any indication of what's to come, we should be in for a good match.
A long push loaded with spin though. Calvin attacked, as he should. Just not quite enough.
Kind of a lucky break for Lucy there with Calvin's loop just going long. She does take game one. So game one does go to the Stanford team. That was a nail biter though.
Certainly was. We're seeing a lot of strong attacks loaded with spin. Just so difficult to return.
Very spinny pushes, very good with the block and aggressive blocks. I mean, she's putting some pace behind those. Calvin has insane power if you step around trying to use that forehand. A couple of unforced errors with the serve. Curious to see if he can change that around. That may have been the difference maker in game one.
That's a good point.
From what we can tell, both players very evenly matched, very aggressive. In for a treat here.
Absolutely. The points alone on unforced errors is one thing, but the toll it takes on your mental game could be another thing altogether.
Yeah, you know, you miss a serve, you lose 1 point, but you may lose a little bit more than that with some of your swagger, some of your confidence. Lucy getting coached by Eric, who we saw earlier. Calvin so far riding solo, no coach in it. Both players have their respective bench behind them, rooting them on. Love to see that in college table tennis.
All right, Lucy to serve. Start of the second game.
Good placement with Lucy on the first block. Able to capitalize.
Yeah, I'm sensing a trend here. Lucy on the backhand likes to take the ball very fast off the bounce. That can change the pace. It's also risky. Wow.
Good footwork with Calvin.
That was
stepping
impressive.
early for a drop shot, and then rockets the next one with his forehand.
Yeah.
Good point.
Again, moving the opponent into the table and then right to the body. Very difficult to return.
Good exchange with Lucy. Backhand open up, steps around, takes the forehand. That was
All to his
a
backhand,
textbook
mind you.
attack. Lucy's certainly looking to do more of that.
By now she must know he has a cannon for a forearm. You can see her attempting to keep it away from there at all costs.
Yeah, it's kind of a cat and mouse game. When you know someone has a forehand as strong as Calvin's, you obviously don't want to put it there for him to tee off. So
It's almost a
so
guaranteed
much more
point.
pressure on keeping things short, keeping things placed well. Just a whole different dimension to the game when a player has a shot as strong as that forehand. Which we see right there, cross court.
Classic third ball.
You'll see players adjust the spin on their serve. They might go heavy backspin with a couple, and they might do a similar serve motion, but with barely any spin. Sometimes that results in the receiver kind of popping it up and the server getting a free third ball attack.
There's some tactics around serving. Of course, if you want to force an error, maybe load it with spin, side spin, back spin. If you're looking to attack on the third ball, maybe ease up on the spin. Make it easier on yourself.
Exactly. Just a heavy spin forehand loop. Lucy couldn't quite bring that block back on the table. That loop was juiced with topspin. Fast long serve into Lucy's backhand. She reacted well, got it back. That was almost some of Calvin's spin and speed on his serve coming right back at him, a dose of his own medicine. Loop drifts long. Calvin definitely hunts that forehand loop. It's almost reminiscent of Russo-Min a little bit.
He's tracking that
Super
thing down.
quick footwork, going for that forehand loop, whatever it takes.
See already there, he was stepping around, he wanted it. Hunting that thing down.
Definitely a forehand-dominated player. And with a shot like his forehand, I'd want to do the same. Ooh. Aggressive serve return, doesn't quite make it on the table. Lucy trying to exploit those angles, knowing that he's going to try and forehand everything. She can kind of bait him and move the ball around.
That is a great point.
Back on the backhand exchange, Lucy comes out on top. Good point. Lucy with a forehand loop of her own in there, and then a backhand block.
Player styles in full display. We're seeing Lucy close to the table. Calvin stepping back to open up that just massive forehand.
It's almost in one sense kind of a man's game versus women's game in terms of style here. Women tend to stand or position themselves a bit close to the table, take the ball very early, very fast. And you'll see most of the guys step back a little bit, go for that big, spinny, fast loop. And when these two styles collide, you get a very similar showdown to what we're seeing.
Cho from Lucy, building up that energy.
Yeah, showing a bit of emotion.
It's good. We love to see that.
Taking that backhand again, very quick off the bounce into Calvin's body. Very surgical with the placement.
Surgical, pre-mid, I see what you did there.
Yeah, no, she's in med school.
Oh, there it
Hey,
is.
give her some respect.
A surgeon in her own right. On the operating table and the table tennis table. But a great point for Calvin there.
Yeah, showcasing his forehand power. Calvin kind of living and dying by that forehand. But he gets it. Boy, very formidable. Wow, great point. Lucy moving Calvin all around the table.
Great way to end the game.
Lucy does go up 2-0. Boy, they haven't been easy sets.
They've been fighting for every point. Lucy moving Calvin around, acknowledging his strong forehand, but that does mean he's moving around a lot more to try and accommodate that. Lucy closer to the table, hitting the corners.
Well, Stanford definitely happy with this start. Up 2-0. Looks like you see Calvin maybe getting a little more coaching now. I know after the first game he was kind of riding solo, but perhaps getting some tidbits, some advice from some of his teammates. Well, you could see Lucy and Eric really going back and forth, talking shop. Calvin's back is against the wall here. He needs to step it up a bit. Down 2-0. Does have the serve. Start game 3.
An attack for Lucy, just off the side of the table, but she's really pressuring his backhand here.
Oh, great block. Serve return popped up a bit high, but boy, she was ready for that block.
But that forehand in its own right could be a winner, but not in this case. She had an
Very
answer.
quick reactions. Block comes back that fast, nobody's home. Deep push to his backhand side. Calvin went to the forehand loop. Not quite enough. Wow, and forehand loop from Lucy's side. Good placement. Causing a mishit from Calvin. Lucy cruising right now in game 3. Players do have a timeout that they can take. There's some different strategy and gamesmanship behind when you want to take that. Is something to consider.
Wow.
Great forehand by Calvin.
Calvin has such a loose wrist when he's doing those forehands. He really snaps that wrist and adds so much power far from the table.
And Lucy keeping it to his backhand side. Especially with the forehand winner he had previous to that. And okay, I'll hit to your backhand. Great serve, wins the point outright. Long, fast serve to his backhand side. Both players doing a great job of mixing up the serve. You'll see majority low, close to the net, causing the player to step in. But they're pretty good at switching it up and going with the fast long serve as well.
Thanks NCTTA for clearing that up. Dr. Lee, certainly not a full-time student, but we certainly are grateful for him lending his club to us for these 2 days. Typically this club is packed full of players, but opening it up this weekend for the West Regionals.
See the players stopping the point. Well, right in the middle right there, there's a errant ball that goes behind that can be distracting. So players raising their hand up saying, hey, let's take that over again without any distractions.
Wow.
Oh, great reactions, both players. A net to navigate.
That net is fickle. Sometimes it deadens the spin, sometimes it moves the ball. Certainly changes the whole dynamic of the point. Touch of the net there, goes long.
UCLA team captain. UCLA team captain, please come to the front desk. Stanford team captain, please come to the front desk.
Took a risk with the long serve there. Calvin's ready for it, stepping around, sending the forehand back. That is exactly why you perhaps don't want to serve long all the time.
Can be an embarrassing reminder in the match. Heavy spin from Calvin. His team showing some support, rooting him on.
You can see the team be a little more vocal now.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's nice to see that support. Spinny.
Throwing it up with a higher spinnier loop. Not all out speed. He does have both loops in his repertoire. There's taking a bit more time between serves now. Making sure their strategy for the point is all set in stone.
Washington team captain, please come to the front desk.
Wow, great loop by Lucy. Very spinny with her forehand. Took a little bit of pace off with more spin. It seems like Calvin is ready for maybe a faster shot.
And of course, Calvin did return that with his forehand on his backhand side. Of course, that does open up the whole other side of the table.
Oh, a bit of a high ball by Lucy, but so close to the net that it worked out. Calvin having to come in at the last second. Oh, wow. Great forehand flip. Wow. Wide to the forehand. Haven't really seen that stroke from her yet, but there's a time to pull it out. That was clutch.
Getting some support in the live stream chat here for Calvin.
To it.
All right, and there's
Lucy
the match.
Takes it.
Fantastic playing on both
3-0,
sides.
but did not feel like that at all. Every single set was tight. Lucy's got to be feeling good about that one.
Yeah, Calvin, a tough opponent. Huge forehands. He varies spin. He varies direction. But Lucy had the answers.
She did. She was ready for it. pretty cool, but NCTTA, it is a co-ed team, so boys and girls can be on the same team competing. They do have a women's team event as well, so obviously guys, not going to see any of them playing in the women's team event, but for co-ed, you can do both. Stanford obviously taking advantage of that. Lucy, a very strong player. Good match between two SoCal teams on table number 1 in women's singles.
Stanford versus Colorado State Clipboard. Never mind, got it.
UCLA versus Stanford, tables 2 and 3.
Lucy Ma and Olivia Wang, can you go to table 2? Oh, sorry. Gurismar from UC Berkeley. Gurismar from UC Berkeley, please come to table 2.
Sorry, I had a little confusion with the names. Are you regular on both sides or long distance? Okay.